Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm the Hungry Tourist and today is the first video in my series in Japan. We've been having some fun in China, but today I'm going to be taking you to a city famous for its quaint beauty and charm, Nara, Japan. At least for tourists, Nara is most famous for its population of wild deer. Being that it's the old capital of Japan, it also has some incredible historical sites. Nara is a great place for a day trip, especially if you're coming from Osaka or Kyoto, but I think it's also a great idea to stay there for the night. For Nara, I wasn't exactly sure how long we wanted to stay there, so I did book accommodation to stay in the city for the night. And I thought this was actually a great idea. I really didn't want to run out of time or rush when we were there. So we booked a really cool hotel, and this allowed us to spend as much time at the park as we wanted and also check out Nara City at night and go to as many restaurants as we wanted. So if you are using your Japan Rail Pass, the JR station is pretty close to the park. So anywhere you go in Nara is going to be walkable. It's going to be very easy for you to travel there. When you're walking around in Nara, you're going to notice lots of deer-themed shops and restaurants and cafes and souvenir shops. The deers are considered a national treasure and a symbol of the city. So if you have time, I definitely suggest staying a whole day in Nara unless you're just in a rush to see a lot of things, then you can definitely make this a day trip. If you are staying in Nara, be sure to either make reservations or at least plan for what restaurants you're going to be going to. Places do tend to close there early, so you're not going to be walking around or roaming too much at night. This city has a lot of residential area. It can be so quiet. You're really going to want to know where you're going, be able to go there and then get out of there. Okay, but let's focus on what you're really interested in, the deer. In Nara Park, there are over 1,300 free roaming deer. So obviously you still need to be mindful when you're around the deer, but for the most part, they are 100% tame. They're very socialized and they're used to being around humans and interacting with other deer and everything else in the park. It kind of took me back at first because I'm used to kind of giving wildlife their distance, but these deer are 100% okay as long as you have some food. They don't mind if you don't have food, but what I learned pretty early is that little crackers that they sell definitely incentivize the deer to come close to you, and then after they're done, they scurry away. So the crackers that they sell at the park are the only thing that you can feed. Don't bring anything else to feed them. Before I knew about the crackers, this deer was sniffing a pine cone. I thought maybe I could feed it to him, but no, that was not the case. He definitely was not interested in it. But take all your pictures for Instagram. There's a lot of people taking pictures with the deer, and the deer don't really seem to mind. Bring your coins to purchase the crackers. And then one thing that you will notice when the deer are eating is that they will bow. And so if you bow to the deer, they will bow back at you or vice versa. And that is for them to tell you that they would like to eat a cracker. And from my understanding, it's learned behavior. They understand that this means that they would like something to eat. And after you feed them, yeah, they usually scurry off somewhere or just keep following you around. And they're done with you. Oh, yep. I said, that's done. And the origin of the deer, basically that goes back to ancient times. In some of the folklore, it states that the deer were considered sacred and messengers of the Shinto gods. So the deers are very protected there. I think they have people watching over them. So yes, being with the wild deer was definitely my favorite part of Nara. It's pretty incredible, very dreamlike, very fairy tale-esque. Nara Park also has a number of world-famous Buddhist temples. The park is filled with Buddhist shrines and temples and has a total of 8 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. You're not going to want to miss the Nara National Museum and all the beautiful architecture to see. I did not film inside any of the temples because there were people worshiping and it's not always the appropriate place to film, but I did get to film outside of these temples and wow, they were pretty magnificent. So when you are in Nara Park, just remember that for some people this is a place of worship. So we're obviously there to observe and to take everything in. Just remember to show respect when you're walking around and don't draw too much attention to yourself. So after you're done with Nara Park, you're definitely going to want to check out some of the restaurants. I don't know if Nara is considered like a foodie city, like some of the other places in Japan, but we definitely found some delicious spots. We went to a zashiki style restaurant where you have a private room and you sit on mats that are on the floor and you have a big giant open flame at your table. Of course, you take off your shoes before entering the restaurant and you leave them in a little locker. These type of restaurants are so much fun. I wish I had gone there with a big group of people. The people next to us, even though it was a private room, we could hear them. Everyone was laughing loud. I'm pretty sure there were some drinks being served. So definitely 100% recommend these type of restaurants. It's so much fun. You're also going to want to try some unagi. I had unagi a number of times in Japan. I want to try it in various cities to see who had the best. And this is such a delicious treat. There's a number of ways to eat them. And what I really like, kind of served in a little lunchbox. I had mine in a omelet. Trying some eel and with in a Japanese omelet with some ginger. Looks so good, pickled ginger. Have some, ooh. Try to get some eel in there. Really good. And this restaurant was pretty cute. They had almost like a little doorbell you could ring at your table to get your server whenever you needed assistance. And it was just a really fun place to be. When we were in Japan, it's kind of like China where we would have either 2 lunches or 2 dinners just so we could try as many restaurants as we could. So even though we were only in Nara for 1 night, we got to try a lot of the different cuisines and foods that they had there. We also went to a Japanese barbecue restaurant. This one probably was open the latest because it was somewhat of a bar. And they had tables also with an open flame. A lot of the restaurants we went to in Japan, they had the open flame at the table, which is a lot of fun if you like to cook your own food. The chef was really nice and prepared the food in front of us, just because I guess he assumed we needed some extra help. And we had some nice drinks. It was a really great experience. So if you've seen my other videos, you know that I always give a tour of the hotel, and this one was so cute. The staff and service workers were so nice there and accommodating, especially for our luggage. When we stayed there, there was quite a bit of travelers staying at the same time, so there was a lot of luggage everywhere. It is a tourist destination, so definitely keep that in mind. There's going to be lots of people, there's going to be tour groups, there's going to be lots of like students taking field trips, stuff like that. So it may not be as, quiet and peaceful as you might imagine, like a wild deer park, but it's still spectacular and worth seeing. So this hotel room was really awesome. One of my favorite features was that they separated the tub from the toilet. There were two different rooms, and then there was like this vanity section in the middle. And if you stayed at hotels in Japan before, you know that a lot of times their toiletries are stocked. So this one had bath salts, skincare, skin masks, face masks, shampoo, of course, essential oils. It was so awesome. And you'll also learn that in certain hotel rooms that you stay in, they will pack an extra pair of pajamas for you that you can wear for the night, and slippers. Slippers you definitely want to use because kind of seen as rude to not take your shoes off in the hotel room. So you're definitely gonna want to use those. They'll also lay out a set of pajamas for you. These pajamas were quite small for me. I'm fairly tall, but they were still pretty comfortable. The idea behind this is that you already have everything that you need at your hotel room to encourage you to pack light, which is a problem that I have, even though, yeah, there were so many things for me to use there already. Okay guys, those are my thoughts on Nara, Japan. I would love to hear what you guys would want to see in Nara, or if you have been there, what you liked most about it. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe button, and please keep traveling along with me. Bye!